Hey, kindergarten, Mrs. Hillberger's still here. Miss Hill is a tired lady. She is still taking a nap, so I get to be here to do some learning with you. Here we go. We have Little Tweet with us too. And we are going to work on math now. And you guys, it's fun. Today's math is so fun. You don't want to miss it. The date is Wednesday, May 6th. We're working on day 26 lessons. Here is what you need. You need this paper right here. It says Shape Robot at the top. You're actually not going to write on this paper, but you're going to use it to look at so that you know what shapes you need to use. You are going to need a blank piece of paper because you guys, you're going to make your own shape robot, and you're going to do it on a blank piece of paper, okay? And then let's see, the only other paper you need is this one right here. It says day 26 at the top, and we're only going to be working on this little square in the corner, okay? So you need that for the very end. So shape robot paper, blank piece of paper, and then this one right here that says day 26 at the top. And of course, you need a pencil. All right, guys, let's get started. Go ahead and pause the video and get your materials. All right, we're going to start today with a little shape game video to review the shapes we have learned about.
Let's play the name the shape game. It's fun. Name the shape game. Come on, everyone. I'll show a shape that's 2D, and you name the shape right before me.
Oh, so you got to try to name it before him. Circle.
Circle.
What's that one?
Square. Triangle. Oval. Rectangle.
Ooh.
Rhombus. Hexagon. Circle. Name the shape game. It's fun.
All right, we're going to stop right there because we have a lot to do. Lots of good stuff. We're going to start with a little shape challenge. So you have to think really carefully about this one. I am holding two shapes in my cup. So I have two shapes inside my cup. I'm not going to show you which ones yet. They have a total of 8 sides. So there's a total of 8 sides and there's a total of 8 corners or vertices. Think about what two shapes I might have in here. And there's a couple different possibilities. If you think you know what two shapes I might have in here, put your finger on your nose. Not in your nose. Mrs. Hill told me to tell you that. On your nose. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, whispered a little tweet. Some interesting ideas. So let me show you what we have in here. And there's more than one correct answer. So just if you didn't guess exactly what I have in here, that's okay, because there are other things that could have worked. I have a rectangle and a square. So my clue for you was that my two shapes had a total of 8 sides and 8 corners. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you might have thought to yourself, well, I know that 4 plus 4 equals 8. So Mrs. Hill must have shapes in there that have 4 sides. I could have had 2 squares or 2 rectangles, right? That would have worked too. But I have a rectangle and a square. All right. The next part of our lesson says that we're going to create a shape robot using the different shapes that we see on this paper. Okay, so we have a circle, rectangle, triangles, and it shows several different kinds, square, hexagon, and even a trapezoid. Okay, so you're going to create your very own shape robot on a blank piece of paper using these shapes. Now you can use more than one circle or more than one rectangle or more than one square. These are just suggestions of shapes that you can choose from. You also can make these shapes bigger or smaller. Before we get started with that, let's watch a little shape robot video.
Beep boop bop, shape robot. My head is shaped like what?
Square. Square.
Beep boop bop, shape robot. My 2 eyes are shaped like what?
Circle. Circle.
Beep boop bop, shape robot. My mouth is shaped like what?
Oh, that's a new one. Semicircle.
Semicircle.
Beep boop bop, shape robot. My 2 ears are shaped like what?
Heart. Hole.
Beep boop bop, shape robot. My shoulders are shaped like what?
Oval. Oval.
Beep boop bop, shape robot. My arms and legs are shaped like what?
Rectangle.
Oh, those are skinny long rectangles.
Rectangle.
Beep boop bop, shape robot. My 2 hands are shaped like what?
Diamond. Diamond. That's my favorite one.
And that's tricky because if you flip it around, it looks a lot like a square to me, right?
Beep boop bop, shape robot. My 2 feet are shaped like what?
Triangle. Triangle.
All right, so you saw a shape robot with a lot of different shapes on it. Now you guys get to create your very own shape robot. It does not have to be like the one in the video. You can use any of these shapes or, you know, like semicircle I saw on there. You could use that if you wanted. Hearts I saw on there. You could use that if you wanted. But use at least some of these shapes. So you're going to take your pencil and you can go ahead. I would start with the head. Decide what shape you want your robot's head to be and draw it. Now, some of you might want to find like something you can trace around. Like for example, let's see, if I wanted to do a circle head, I could find a circle and trace around it, or you could just try to draw it your best on your own. That's fine. Or, you know, if you have something small that's shaped like a rectangle, you could trace around that. Whatever shapes you guys decide to draw, you can draw them on your own, or you can trace around something. Also, if you have those shapes that you cut out the other day, remember that whole page of shapes, you can use those too and kind of glue a bunch of them together. That would be fine to do it that way. I'm actually not going to spend the time right now to draw my shape robot, but make sure that when you draw yours, you need all the important parts, okay? You need a head, a body, arms, legs. I love how they added hands and feet and shoulders and parts of the face and ears on that shape robot too. So make sure you're adding lots of different shapes and making it really your best work with a lot of details, okay? And then you guys save this shape robot because your teachers are going to want to see a picture of it, and we're using it again for our learning tomorrow. Okay, go ahead and pause the video and work on your shape robot. All right, guys, I cannot wait to see those shape robots. Same with Little Tweet. He's super excited to see the cool shape robots you came up with. Remember to save those because we're going to be using them again tomorrow, okay? Now we're going to work on this part of our lesson. So we're going to this paper where it says day 26. The directions say color 2 shapes that you would use to make the gray shape. So they're talking about this right here. So which of these shapes would I put together to make this shape? Go ahead and get a crayon, and there are 2 shapes here that go together to make this shape. Go ahead and pause the video and color those 2 shapes. All right, guys, let's see what you came up with. So I noticed that the top of this shape is a hexagon. So I colored in the hexagon. Remember, a hexagon has 6 sides, and both of these shapes have 6 sides. And then the bottom shape is a rectangle, but the thing that's a little bit tricky is it's flipped around, right? Like this rectangle's laying down and this rectangle's standing up, but it's still a rectangle, right? It has 2 long sides and 2 short sides. All right, guys, we are done with math for today. You rocked it out. You did awesome. Little Tweet is so proud of you. Go ahead and take a quick little break, and then we're going to get ready for science, or actually maybe even in social studies today. All right, guys, see you soon.